Hey guys, how's it going? We got our new type of problem. Basically, okay, it's still using the same table, all right, and the same formula, except we are going to find x instead of find z. Okay, so in the past, we would use the formula, get a z-score, look up a probability. Well, now we're doing the exact opposite. We're going to be given a probability, look up a z-score, and then plug it into the formula. So it looks a little different, but this is the same formula. It's just solved for x instead of z. Again, if you ever want to look at the algebra of that, let me know. So again, same formula, just manipulate it around. So problems are going to sound like this. The bottom 25% of students on a police academy exam are not allowed in the program. So they're getting cut. If the average was 42 on like a test, a quiz, a standard deviation of 3 points, what score would be the cut line? Okay, so basically what do you have to score to make it to the next product process? So here's what we do. I would draw a picture for this. So here's my normal curve. Okay, the average is 42. All right, and basically the bottom 25% are getting cut. So all these people are getting cut. We want to know what score, okay, is the magic number, the number we need to get. Okay, so what we need is we need to get a z-score for that. Okay, we need a z-score. Well, to z-score, we have to go to the table. So we have to do the exact opposite. Okay, so we have to look up 0.2500 on the inside of our chart, and that means in this big mess of numbers in here. Okay, and then we'll look out. We'll look out to get a z-score. Okay, so it's on the negative side because it's less than 50%. So the closest thing to 2500. So we're looking. Here's some 25s. We're getting there. Boom. Here's the two I'm looking at: 2514 and 2483. Now, for our purposes, we're just going to take whichever one is closer to our number. Which, again, think of a number like 2500. Well, this would be 2514. It's 2483. Technically, the 2514 is closer. Okay, so we need the z-score to go with that. So that means we have to do this. Go negative 0.6, and then a 7. So negative 0.67 is z. Now we can just plug into this formula with everything we have, which is everything else. So we know z is negative 0.67. 0.67. The standard deviation we know is 3. We know the mean is 42. Okay, we just enter that in the calculator real quick. Negative 0.67 times 3 plus 42. You get 39.99. So basically, you need to get 39.99. Well, you need to get better than that, really. So you need a 40 on this exam to make it to the next round. That's it. So again, exact opposite process. Second problem here. Again, these are just examples. You have some to try today. Only the top 10% of SAT scores are considered for entry to Pennsylvania University. Okay, if the average score is 1,000 with a standard deviation of 130, what's the minimum score to be considered? Now, this one's a little different. Okay, so let me clear all this stuff. Make a new one. New drawing. Okay, so now, and again, with these problems, our final answer is going to be actual number. Like in the first one was a test score, and this one's another test score. In the previous section, our answers were all probabilities. So now we're doing these backwards. Terrible curve, but I don't care. School starts in 3 minutes, so I gotta move. So now the average is 1,000, but they're only taking the top 10%, so way up here, best of the best. Okay, so the problem is we can't look up 10% on our chart. That'll give us a number way down here. So what we have to do is we have to think about, well, what is all this percentage? Well, if we're looking at the top 10%, this is going to be the bottom 90%. So we have to look on the inside of our chart for 9000. So that'll be down here. It's in the positive section. Again, these go in order, so you're not just looking for a needle in a haystack. There's your closest one, 8997. Next one up is 9015. That's too high. So z-score negative 1 or positive 1.28. So 1.28 is your z. Okay, so that's going to go into our formula again. Same. Okay, so Z is 1.28. Remember, our answer is going to be an SAT score, so it's going to be over 1,000, probably 11, 1,200, something like that. Standard deviation of 130, average of 1,000. Plug that in. 1.28 times 130 plus 1,000. 1166.4. So basically, if this were true, you'd need an 1166.4 to be considered to get into Pennsylvania University. Okay, so what you have to make sure you look out for is it the bottom 25% or is it the top certain percent? And those basically turn into more than and less than problems in the last section. More than, we had to do the one minus, except we did it at the end. Well, now top is like a more than, but we do it first. Remember, doing the exact opposite. And this last one, if you ever see anything about percentiles, don't worry about it. 65th percentile means you did better than 65%. So for this problem, what score represents 56th percentile? Well, here's your curve. Basically, we're saying, okay, well, you did better than 65%. 65. So you're going to look on the chart for 6500, closest thing to it, get a z-score, and plug it into that formula. Okay, that's a wrap. I got to roll. Questions, let me know. I'll be finally getting those grades in for virtual students from our last quiz at the end of last week. And, let me know.